What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Weik Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Weik. So today I want to talk about something. A news article was brought to my attention by Mark Lobliner of MTS Nutrition and TigerFitness.com. And it was part of his YouTube channel. So he kind of spoke about this news, and I'm finding out more details as I look into it. A little bit more than maybe he would have said in his own video. But it revolved around a story that broke that there was supposedly a protein powder with caffeine in it that killed a man. Okay? So Mark went over, not everything that was talked about seemed legit, and I'm going to go a little bit more in depth with some of those findings. So I went online, I typed in man dies of protein shake with caffeine. One of the first things that came up was Fox News. They covered the story. The title is Caffeine Powder in Protein Shake Led to Man's Death, Family Says. So what I want to do is I want to actually read this to you guys because I think it's really interesting how the supplement industry is being under attack the last few years. And you know, unfortunately, you know, you have incidents like this that truly are a shame. I mean, I'm not downplaying the fact that this guy lost his life. What I am saying is, why are we blaming, in this instance at least, supplements for someone's death when it was their own negligence that unfortunately took their own life? So I'm not going to say the man's name, his first or last. I'm not going to talk about his parents that are also talked about in this news story. So it starts out, and this is the interesting part. Now, this was literally, I am recording this July 9th of 2019. This was published one day ago. Okay, so that would have been the 8th of July, 2019. So it says, in the early hours of New Year's Day last year, when this gentleman returned home from a fairly tame night out with his friends, he kissed his mom goodbye and made himself a protein shake. Not long after, he blacked out in his bathroom and the family's home, and he never regained consciousness. It was the day before his 22nd birthday, so a very young individual. Given the timing of his death and the fact that he'd been out of town, there were rumors that swirled around that he died of a drug overdose. Now, to me, that kind of throws up a red flag. Now, I don't want to make assumptions and say this guy was, doing illegal things. But the fact that rumors swirled that he overdosed on something should make people a little suspect to what's going on here. Now the coroner did come back with toxicology and say that he did have an insane amount of caffeine in his system, which I'll get to later on as I continue to read this. But the fact that people thought that he had a drug overdose makes me believe, reading that, again, this is my opinion, not facts, but it's my opinion that he might have been doing some other stuff in his life and making some poor choices. I mean, I know if I died suddenly, nobody would be like, oh, he probably died of an overdose because I don't do drugs. So the fact that there were rumors that he could have died of a drug overdose should throw up some red flags. So they said that in reality it was something much closer to home and totally unexpected that killed the talented young musician. So apparently he was into the arts of music. His devastated family now wants to share their story as a warning to others, a desperate plea that could just save lives. So this gentleman's family received the coroner's report late last week, which again, looking at this, I don't know if that means that it took over a year to get the coroner's report, or if what they're saying is from whenever Fox News found this story, which I don't even know how this all came up. It's over a year ago. They're digging up old stuff, which is a little unusual. But they received the coroner's report last week, which concluded that this gentleman died of caffeine toxicity after the 21-year-old unknowingly ingested a dangerous amount of the powder in a protein shake. So this is where things get a little interesting. 1 teaspoon of the caffeine powder that he had was equivalent to anywhere up to 50 cups of coffee. So in that protein shake, the caffeine content equivalent to 50 cups of coffee. That's a metric shitload of caffeine. So it turns out that this gentleman came home after celebrating New Year's Eve with his friends and made a protein shake, innocently adding too much pure caffeine powder. A teaspoon is lethal. Okay, so let me paint this picture for you. Gentleman goes out drinking with friends New Year's Eve. Comes home, probably buzzed, maybe drunk, whatever the case may be. Out of all the things that he could drink or eat, he has a protein shake. Okay. Decides to add caffeine into it. Now, he was out all night. Why would you be drinking caffeine if you're going to bed? I'm so confused with this. So it says caffeine powder is popular in fitness circles, commonly marked as a diet supplement and used as an addition to protein shakes and health drinks. What? Okay, look. I've been in this industry nearly 2 decades. Maybe, and this is a stretch, maybe 5% of protein shakes that are in the industry, on the market today, have caffeine in them. Most of them are targeted as, they can't say it on the label, but more along the lines of a weight loss protein powder. Help boost metabolism, boost energy. It's not the norm. They're playing this off that it's used in protein shakes and health drinks. First of all, health drinks and caffeine don't go together. They just don't. Energy drinks, yes. But when you think of health drinks, you're thinking about teas, green juices, that type of substance or that type of beverage. Saying that caffeine is marketed as a dietary supplement and used as an addition to protein shakes and health drinks is complete and utter false bullshit. It's just stupid. Why would you even say something like that? So clearly, whoever wrote this has no idea what they're talking about. So it says it's unclear where this individual got it from. A search of his computer and bank statements by both his family and police came up blank. So this guy's father said, "We think this guy obtained the caffeine powder from a friend or work associate." My question is, why are they treating this like a drug? We need to find out where he got this caffeine from. It's frickin' legal, people. What are you searching for? What are you looking for? You want to go after the person who sold him caffeine powder? Do you know how stupid that is? That's like somebody dying in a car crash and they're trying to go after the car manufacturer or the dealership who sold the guy the car for some odd reason, like they were negligent. Give me a break. So it says, therefore, it appears the pure caffeine powder was bought by someone else and shared. Who does that? That's just odd. So it's very likely that this individual never got to read the warning label on the packet and was unaware of its potency. Again, negligence. Why would you put something in your body, in your system, that you know nothing about? Negligence. Had this individual used the correct dosage, this could have been avoided. Unfortunately, it ended up in his death. Now, was it because of the alcohol that he was impaired? He didn't know what he was doing? Or was it pure negligence that he had no idea what he was taking? He knew it was caffeine, didn't know the dosage, didn't know, the proper scoop that he should be using, and died. So they further said, and the fact that he kept the caffeine powder in our kitchen pantry, now this is the family speaking, where one of us might have mistaken it for flour or sugar, proves the point that this individual would never have kept it there had he known it was a threat to the family. Again, I'm sorry, I have to go back to negligence. You don't know what you're taking. You're bringing something in your house that you're clearly uneducated on. It's negligence. So the night that he died, this individual sent a final Facebook group message to friends mentioning that his shake tasted bitter. Who does that? I mean, if I drink a supplement, any type of powder, creatine, BCAA, EAA, whatever, I'm not messaging friends saying, hey, this thing I just drank tastes weird. So I don't understand that fully, or why you would do something like that. So he goes on to further say, I think my protein powder has gone off. And now he wrote this at 2:07. So again, at 2:07 a.m., why, regardless of the protein shake, but why would you put caffeine in anything? 2:07 a.m. Makes no sense. So it says, anyway, night lads, see you in the morning. So they said morning never came for this individual. We found him dead and cold on the bathroom floor on New Year's Day, 2018. So again, this was a year ago. Why is this just now making the news? I don't understand. So it was excruciating waiting for the coroner's findings, blah, blah, blah. Months after he died, rumors began to swirl that this individual might have died of a drug overdose, which added to the family's grief. Pathologists quickly confirmed that no illicit substances were present, and he'd likely had only a few beers, given his blood alcohol level was below 0.05. So they're saying that I think the rumors about this individual's death probably started fairly innocently because it happened on New Year's Eve. Okay, again, let me go back to this. If I never do drugs, whether it's New Year's Eve, my birthday, 4th of July, or any other holiday, if I were to die, nobody would say, I think Matt Weik died of a drug overdose. No one would say that. So where would the rumors be coming from if he hadn't at least dabbled down that path a time or two. So they said that people were making assumptions, and it, spreads like a bushfire. The family has no ill feelings toward whoever shared the caffeine powder with this individual, given they too probably had no idea how dangerous it was. So let me just say this. Water consumed in excess will kill you. So that being said, just about anything used in excess could potentially kill you. That's why it's so important to know what you're putting in your body. The foods you're putting in the body, the supplements you're putting in your body, where do they come from? What is the dosage? You need to know these things. So they go on to say, however, this product has not been banned by Australia. So this took place in Australia. Obviously, the supplement regulations in Australia and the US, even Canada, are all completely different. So the things that we can do here in the States, we can't do in Canada. Some of the products we have in the States, you can't have in Canada. Same thing with Australia. But in this instance, caffeine was legal. You can use it in Australia. So it says the Food and Drug Administration in the U.S. prohibited the sale of large quantities of pure caffeine powder in 2018, 4 years on from the death of an Ohio teenager in a similar circumstance. So apparently there was another individual in Ohio who also died of a caffeine overdose. Let's see. This is talking about the other guy. So I guess the gentleman who died in Ohio, the teenager, was a wrestler. He died just days before he was supposed to graduate from high school. He bought the powder online from Amazon. And like many, used it in protein shakes. What are you talking about? Why? Listen, I don't know why anybody is putting caffeine in their protein shakes. Unless it's a specific instance, like they're using it for breakfast and they're basically taking the caffeine from something that they would use like a coffee and the protein as like their meal, and they're combining them. Other than that, I don't understand why you're putting caffeine in your protein. I can honestly say right now that I don't know anybody, none of my friends, no one in the industry that I am aware of is putting caffeine in their protein shakes. What? I'm so confused. Okay, so the individual of the Ohio kid, his mother says, as long as I live, I will hunt this stuff down. Okay, well, good luck to you, because it's everywhere you turn. Every energy drink has caffeine in it. Every fat burner has caffeine in it. I don't know where you're going with this. You're treating it like it's an illegal drug, which it's not. A search of eBay shows pure caffeine powder is widely available in Australia. Okay, who cares? That's because it's legal. It's just insane that something so dangerous is so readily available. Please warn your kids, friends, talk to your children, and perhaps check your kitchen cupboards. Pure caffeine powder looks just like any other white powder, but a heaped teaspoon of it will kill you. So, I'm still confused. In saying that something so dangerous is so readily available, Look, I get it. Just in this article, we have read that, or I have read, that 2 people have died due to caffeine. Both were using excessive amounts. I don't understand. That's like talking about a drug. You can insert the blank with whatever you want. Meth, crack, cocaine, whatever. Heroin, I don't care. You fill in the blank. There's a tipping point. I'm not saying it's safe, but there's a degree of safe, and then there's that line that you cross. The same thing can go with anything else. Again, look, okay, this is a BCAA drink, okay, powder, but there's water in it. If I just chugged this, filled it back up, chugged it, filled it back up, chugged it, filled it back up, chugged it, then we'll get to the point where I could die from drinking excess water. It's no different with anything else here. So if I died because I OD'd, in a sense, on water, I can't believe anybody ever could say, I'm going to go after water because it's so bad. It killed Matt. To me, it's like a witch hunt for supplements that, and anytime something happens, it's always the supplement's fault. It's not the negligence of the individual. I mean, you can look at the violence today. People want to blame the guns. Look, you can sit a gun on this desk. It's not going to go off. Somebody's going to have to pull that trigger. That was their problem, their fault. Okay? Again, I'm not downplaying, what's happening in the streets today. The murders, the violence, nor am I downplaying the death of these individuals that we're talking about from this article who OD'd on caffeine. A fact sheet published by Cornell University in the U.S. said pure caffeine is often sold in quantities of 400 grams for as little as $10. Look, caffeine is a very inexpensive raw material. You can get it pretty much anywhere. If you Google pure caffeine online, you will come up with a bazillion different results from your search. It's not difficult. So they're saying that the 400 grams, that amount is equivalent to 1,000 cans of Red Bull. Cool, bro, but you're not drinking them all at the same freaking time. It kills me that they're trying to put like 2 and 2 together to come up with some assumption like this stuff is so bad. Okay, well, what's not to say that you don't have 1,000 cans of Red Bull? It's just nonsense that they're trying to make these comparisons that people shouldn't be using caffeine because it's equivalent to this. Yeah, in that excessive amount. Look, 400 grams is a lot. I mean, that is a huge thing of caffeine. No one's going to take that whole damn thing at once. It's stupid. So, and they're comparing it to 1,000 cans of Red Bull. So now they backtrack again. Just 1 teaspoon of pure caffeine powder contains 5,000 milligrams of caffeine, which could be lethal. Yeah, because that's not the recommended dose. Mixing 2 teaspoons into a shake or other drink is the same as consuming 70 Red Bull cans at once. Again, it's negligence, not knowing what you're taking, not knowing the correct dosages. Because caffeine can affect different people, from person to person, depending on weight, gender, medications, overall health. Ooh. That brings up a good point. Was this gentleman on any type of medication at the time? Don't know. High amounts of caffeine can lead to an increased risk of cardiac arrhythmias, palpitations, seizures, strokes, and even death. Caffeine powder is no longer found on Amazon. This family sued the retailer and won. This is the family of the Ohio boy. Yeah, okay, that's the last name. Yep. So the family of the Ohio boy sued Amazon and won, but Amazon was successful in an appeal. So that's what this article says on Fox News. What I want to get at here, people, again, I'm going to say it probably for the fourth or fifth time now. I'm not downplaying what happened here. It's tragic that, just reading this, 2 people died from caffeine overdose. But what I want to get across to everybody is the importance of following the directions, okay? They're there for a reason. And taking a product that you don't know what it is or what the dosage is because a buddy gave it to you is negligent. That's your fault. Your fault. Don't blame the supplement. Don't blame the brand. Don't blame the world. Blame yourself. You have to know. You have to be responsible. I don't care if it's a protein powder, a fat burner, creatine, a multivitamin, a fish oil. I don't care what it is. You need to know what you're putting in your body. That's your responsibility. No one else's. Okay? You are responsible for your own life, your own health, your own well-being. Okay? And it frustrates me to no end that people want to blow things out of context, make a huge ordeal out of something because of negligence. No one told this kid to take a teaspoon. Where did he get that from? And if it's a bag of caffeine sitting in a cupboard, that has bad idea written all over it. There's just so much wrong with this story, and it makes me so frustrated that the sports nutrition and supplement industry get a black eye because of negligence. People can overdose on anything. Do you know how many articles we will be reading every single day of people who got drunk and died? How many of those stories do you think we would read every single morning when we wake up? Here in the U.S., I'm betting a lot. It just frustrates me. So, what I want to say to end this is, please, 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 be aware of the things that you are putting in your body, okay? I don't care what it is. A supplement, a food, a beverage. Know the risks. Know serving sizes and dosages. And know how they may interact with things that you might be using. Maybe think about consulting your doctor before you start taking things that you don't know how it may interact with you, your situation. Maybe you have an illness. Whatever the case may be. Just stop people. Stop blaming objects. The sole purpose of the object isn't to kill somebody. It's to be used for something. The fact that it kills somebody is a shame and negligent at the same time on the individual. So that's all I wanted to say. I didn't want this to be a downer, but I had to say something because it's so frustrating. And after hearing Mark talk about this when I watched it last night, I was I guess bored. No, as I yawn. It just had me so fired up. I was so frustrated after listening to what Mark was saying that I went out, I pulled up the article, I read the article, and it just made me furious. So that's all I got for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little tidbit of information, kind of news that's going on in the world, especially when it relates to, health and supplements. But with that being said, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day wherever you may be. Thank you for your attention. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. If you want to talk about this, I would love to have a discussion down in the comments. But thank you guys so much for the attention. You could be doing anything for the last 30 minutes, but you are here listening to me ramble and talk about this story, and I truly appreciate that. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week, and I hope to catch you guys on the next episode.